The bird who testified. May 2015, Newaygo County, Michigan. When police responded to a 911 call, they found a horrific scene. Martin Durham, 45 years old, lay dead with 5 gunshot wounds. Next to him was his wife, Glenna Durham, barely alive with a single gunshot wound to the head. Glenna survived, but she claimed she couldn't remember anything. The scene looked like a potential home invasion or murder-suicide attempt, but there was no forced entry, no signs of robbery, and one silent witness no one initially considered: Bud, an African gray parrot. Martin's ex-wife, Christina Keller, took Bud in after the murder, and that's when things got disturbing. A few weeks later, Bud started saying something chilling. In Martin's voice, perfectly mimicking him, the bird would scream, "Don't effing shoot." Christina was terrified. She could hear the fear, the desperation. This wasn't just random mimicry. African gray parrots are known for their extraordinary ability to copy sounds and voices they hear repeatedly, especially emotionally charged moments. But Bud didn't stop there. The parrot would engage in what sounded like an argument, switching between 2 distinct voices, a male voice and a female voice, before ending with those final desperate words. Christina believed Bud witnessed Martin's murder. She contacted police with a video of the bird's behavior. While prosecutors considered using Bud as evidence, they ultimately had enough without him. The investigation revealed Glenna had been having an affair. The couple had financial troubles. The evidence suggested Glenna shot her husband 5 times, then turned the gun on herself in a failed suicide attempt. In July 2017, after a 4-day trial, Glenna Durham was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. The Masked Attacker. September 2015, Caton, New York. 7-year-old Charlie Clayton witnessed something no child should ever see. A masked man brutally attacked her mother, Kelly Clayton, beating her to death. Hours later after the murder, Sheriff Jim Allard sat down with Charlie. He didn't want to traumatize her further, but they desperately needed to know what happened. What Charlie told him was chilling. She described the attacker's eyes, and then she said something that stopped Allard cold. His eyes looked just like my daddy's.
Robert look like?
He looked like my dad.
How about the size of him? Was he a big guy, or was he a little guy?
The size of my dad.
When investigators pressed gently, asking if she'd ever seen anyone wear the mask before, Charlie replied, "My dad." But then she looked at the investigators and said something. But it couldn't have been Daddy, because then who would take care of us? Charlie's father, Thomas Clayton, claimed he was at a weekly poker game at a friend's house when Kelly was murdered. Other people confirmed he was there, but investigators found something suspicious. Thomas had borrowed someone's cell phone at the poker game to make a call 90 minutes before he'd discovered his wife's body. That call went to Michael Beard, a former employee. Beard eventually confessed that Thomas Clayton hired Beard to kill Kelly in a murder-for-hire plot. Beard was supposed to kill her and make it look like a robbery. Beard led police to the murder weapon, bloody clothes, and keys to the Clayton home. Both Thomas Clayton and Michael Beard were convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life without parole. Hira the Parrot, February 2014, Agra, India. Vijay Sharma returned from a wedding to discover a nightmare. His wife, Neelam, had been stabbed 14 times. Their pet dog had been stabbed 9 times. The house had been ransacked, cash and jewelry stolen. But there was one survivor hiding in silence: Hira, the family parrot. After the murders, Hira stopped eating, drinking, and talking. The vibrant bird that used to chatter constantly went completely silent. Days passed. Then Vijay's nephew, Ashutosh Sharma, came to visit. Hira exploded in agitation. The bird screamed and shrieked whenever Ashutosh was near, and whenever anyone mentioned Ashutosh's name, Hira would react with terror, screeching his name over and over. Vijay told investigators, "During discussions, whenever Ashutosh's name was mentioned, the parrot would start screeching. This raised my suspicion." Police obtained Ashutosh's cell phone records. The data was damning. They brought him in for questioning. And Ashutosh confessed. He and an accomplice had broken into the house intending to rob. Ashutosh knew exactly where they kept their money and valuables. He'd visited many times, even lived there for years. He had initially planned to only rob the house, but his auntie, Neelam, recognized him. She could identify him to police, so he killed her. And when the dog wouldn't stop barking, he killed the dog too. But Ashutosh never saw Hira. The parent had hidden, witnessing everything in silence, traumatized into muteness. Hira never testified in court due to legal technicalities, but the parent's reaction gave police the critical lead they needed. In March 2023, Ashutosh Sharma and his accomplice, Ronnie Massey, were sentenced to life in prison. Tragically, Hira died 6 months after Neelam's murder. Mr. Robbie, June 2016, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A Good Samaritan named Leslie Parms found a 3-year-old girl wandering alone in a parking lot. She had blood speckled on her feet. The child immediately told him, "Mr. Robbie put me here." When police arrived, the little girl, through tears and trauma, kept saying the same thing. "Mr. Robbie made the blood. Mr. Robbie hurt Mommy." The officer's dashcam footage captured the heartbreaking moment.
Who put blood in the car?
Mr. Robbie.
1 week later, Lintel Washington, the 3-year-old's mother, was found dead. She'd been shot in the head. Mr. Robbie was Robert Marks, an assistant principal at the middle school where Lintel worked. They'd been having an affair, and Lintel was pregnant with his child. But would a 3-year-old's testimony hold up? Investigators took incredible care. The child was interviewed at a children's counseling center by a specially trained child forensic interviewer. The entire session was recorded. In that interview, the little girl provided more details.
What did you hear when Mommy got hurt? What did you hear with your ears? Did you say Mr. Robbie hurt Mommy?
Yes, ma'am.
The child's testimony aligned perfectly with the forensic evidence. When they found Lintel's body, she had indeed been shot in the head. Despite the trauma, despite her young age, this brave little girl became the key witness who brought her mother's killer to justice. Robert Marks was arrested, convicted, and sentenced for the murder of Lintel Washington.